Hey, just wanted to show everybody something I've been working on. It's a little travel trailer um, meant for winter camping, going ice fishing lake to lake. I hate sleeping in hotels and everything like that. I'd rather have something like this that I can haul wherever I'd like and just sleep wherever I can find a place to sleep and stay nice and warm. Fully insulated. It's got this metal roofing here on the outside, all screwed on with rubber grommet screws and weather sealed up pretty tight. It's got a little kitchen bump out here, a little flip up roof. I could show you how that attaches down here with these bungee cords hook in like that, one on one side and one on the other. Make sure it don't come flipping up when you're driving down the road there. These are purple there. A lot of these are small job leftovers. I'm a contractor and I do a lot of roofing, especially a lot of green metal, and a little bit of this is pieced together, overlapped here on the sides. Little job leftovers, whatever I could get my hands on for next to nothing. That's where the whole idea got sparked. I had a little stack of steel laying around and said, what can I do with all that steel? I bent it around all the corners here. It wraps around, so when you're coming down the road here, the wind hits this and can't creep any water. And I have to caulk this in, but I used a fire block spray foam insulation to fill all the gaps and voids so no air creeps in. Same thing along the bottoms all here. Up in here I sprayed that foam. This area here eventually is going to hold my cooler and all that type of stuff, and I'll just run a strap or a little gate around there. This tube here, I'll show you, it's going to get cut off, plumbed in. This is my cold air intake from my wood stove that I built for in here. That way it draws air from outside instead of using up all your oxygen inside there. Again, these corners are bent over. This metal is bent under and this metal is bent over. And there's ice guard behind all of this. The rest of it is house wrapped. And then I did Reflectix first, then house wrap. Or sorry, opposite way around. House wrap. It goes steel, Reflectix, house wrap, insulation, and then my paneling on the other sides of the walls, 1.5 inches thick with the steel on there. Here's my collar for where my wood stove comes out. This is a high heat silicone sleeve here. I have this kind of temporarily done, just temporarily screwed in here. And I know you're going to see this creosote dripping down the pipe here and say, oh, well, if you would have flipped the pipes the other way around, the creosote would not drip down like that. But I kind of idle the stove a lot because it makes a lot of heat, which makes then a lot of creosote build up. So I'd actually prefer it run out of the pipe instead of back down the pipe and settle here in the elbow. As far as that goes, the top of the pipe gets creosote, but down here it stays hot enough that there's no creosote dripping out. So that, and this chimney's 4 years old now. I built this wood stove 4 years ago, and have used it. It's just a 3-inch galvanized. That top section I'll go ahead and pull off when I'm driving down the road, and I'll throw a little fern coat over the top. And it just sits on my trailer. I can walk around the back and show you a little easier. My electric comes in this corner here. There, I'd rather be fishing. My electric comes in this corner. I just had an old extension cord I put an outlet on, and this cord here runs in and it has its GFCI protection on the inside. But like I was saying, it just sits on my work trailer here. It gets strapped down and strapped in. But in the summertime I can pop this thing and leave it anywhere, and we got ourselves a little tiny house wherever we go. Here's my back wall. I did a little leaf camouflage type thing just to kind of spruce up the back a little bit here, and got a thermometer, let you know how cold it is. Picked up a window here, one for ventilation, two for an air conditioner in the summertime. With it being fully insulated, it's not a bad little guest house. You know, as far as that goes, you could travel in this little thing. We got a little deck here, back of the trailer. The tailgate goes down, and when I park it, I'll throw something underneath it. I like to make some flip down legs there, and then when I crank the jack up on the front to level it, it'll just sit there real nice. Yeah, step up here, let me show you the inside. I made the door out of foam, an old shower door frame, which was a C-channel, and then this I want to switch out to a piano type hinge, but for now that'll work. I got my stickers here. This is a Facebook, Northwest Pennsylvania Ice Addicts, the 814 is the area code. Look them up. Let's see. Well, there's a screen in here, which is nice. Open up the door here, little latch. It may take a second for this camera to adjust light-wise. There's my wood stove. Here's the inside. I did Helmsman spar varnish here, spar urethane on here. It's gonna hold up real nice. The water just beads up. Plus, let me explain this fish here in a moment. Let me turn the camera away from that. Go back here. Let me latch the door, which is kind of like a two-hand thing right now because of this weather strip on the bottom. Now I'm going to set this camera down for a second. The door, there we go. Okay. Now, on the inside, just a foam weather stripping for now. I'm thinking about making an overlapping seal from the outside with a strip on it. I wasn't terribly concerned. Like I said, everything's really lightweight. The door is all aluminum frame, overlapped, and then screwed together. And there's reflectix here in the corner. You can see a little bit of light coming through. It's not 100% airtight yet. The bottom, I just used an old door threshold. And anywhere there were gaps, I went ahead and spray foamed everything. This plywood is exterior grade, Luan, 1/4 inch. And then there's foam, 1.5 inch foam. Then there's on a frame, between a frame, should I say. And then reflectix and airspace, a little 1/2 inch airspace, and then reflectix. And then it's house wrapped on the outside with a roofing membrane, titanium, UDL 30 I used. And then it has the steel, so no moisture's getting through all those layers. And the reflectix is all seam taped and everything. I used some 3/4 knotty pine over here. Just pieces I had left over from some jobs. I do a lot of this sterling knotty pine. Couple coat hangers here. Back to my wood stove. Years back I built this. I have it all loaded up. Here's my cold air return, or cold air intake here. Draws air from outside. There's a flexible hose, and it just feeds the stove. That's just an aluminum box held on here. There's a little magnet that comes off, and that's really hard to see. I apologize. There's just 3 holes along here, 1, 2, 3, and sliding this back and forth opens or closes that, and then you just go ahead and put this back over here. Once the stove is all fired up, I can do a light procedure here for you. Super easy to get this thing going. I just load it up. I already have it loaded up. Now I kind of just load it up like that. My stove right now, it does need a new gasket I burned up my gasket. It lasted a couple years. I need to get a new gasket for it. But yeah, I'll go ahead and get this stove cranking here. I just take my quick ignite torch. It's supposed to be quick ignite, but again, even it's getting old. It's got a lot of use out of it, and I just stick it in there like this for a moment until you start to see an orange flame, and it usually only takes a second. While I'm doing that, I'll talk about some other stuff. This big pike here on the wall measures almost 50 inches. It was a drawing, it was a compilation. I drew it, and my girlfriend wood burned it. She did some beautiful wood burning work there. It really turned out cool. It really spices up the hut. You know, you're just sitting here, and it gives you something nice to look at. I went ahead, put some trims up. Finish getting this stove here one more blast. Okay, that would probably fire it up. You can kind of hear once it's going. There's my little buddy as a backup. Always nice to have a backup. I got a baffle here that you can turn to meter how much. See, there's just a little bit of smoke coming through where that gasket is bad. Now once the chimney warms up, that goes away. See, it already went away. But for that purpose, I have this flip up roof section here. I have a little prop rod. This is for cross ventilation. I may need to set the camera down to do this. Give me one. Actually, I could probably do it like this. I just take my prop rod in here, and I never unhooked the outside. I have to go back outside and unbungee what I bungeed up to be able to show you that. Okay, let me sneak back around here real fast and unbungee my tethers here. Alright, good shape. Okay, we're coming back. Step back inside. Oh, it's already starting to warm up in here. It's only about 40 degrees out here today. So it's really, it's not very cold. Yesterday it was pretty cold, and I actually just put this wood stove in this hut, and it really does a